Testing. Check. Check. I've got little bars moving up and down when I speak. Does that mean it's on? Yeah, just coloured ones moving up and down. So I just start. Right. Chris Drabble here. Welcome to my first podcast. I thought I'd get into this sort of thing because it seems to be the way forward. Get my voice out on air. Obviously didn't make it in radio. Wasn't good enough. So kind of have a net to fall on in the form of this podcast. It's going to be the start of a series of podcasts. It's an indefinite number because I don't know how long it will take until I run out of ideas. Probably about 3 or 4. So this is the first one. But in saying that, I don't have an idea. So we'll just take it as it comes. Got a jingle though. Check it out. Bit over the top for this sort of thing. In fact, it's not very jingular at all, is it? Probably more suited to a rave party. Grant chose that one, the producer. Anyway, episode 1. Let's get stuck into it. Not a great time to start the new project. The old podcasts have been pretty crook for 4 or 5 days now. I had a stomach bug. Is this the kind of stuff I'm meant to talk about? Just anything? Well, it's just that they don't seem to be interested in this type of thing. Yeah, okay. So I went to the doctor and he gave me some pills, which didn't do anything. If anything, I think they actually made the pain a bit worse. So I stopped them. I did what any normal human would do, and I asked around my mates if they had any pharmaceuticals that worked to kill pain. Obviously, Panadol, Nurofen, that sort of thing wasn't enough, wouldn't cut it. I was in quite intense pain. So I came across my friend Matt. He handed me a couple of codeine. Washed them down with a beer. Well, started to feel a bit brighter, a bit chirpier. It was Saturday night. This was about 7 p.m. I suddenly felt that I could probably tackle a night out. So I took off and went to a party, threw up down the steps and left. Been at home since. So had a few days off work. Had to text in this morning and let them know I won't be in. I always feel a bit guilty doing that, even when I am genuinely ill, but you get the sense that they don't quite believe that you're sick, which is a shame. I do prefer to text than actually call in. Whenever I call in to say I'm sick, I get the feeling that I need to put on a voice to try and sell it. So often I'll ring up, brr, brr. Yeah, hi, can't make it into work today, but crop. And then of course they say, well, what are you talking like that for? Oh no, I've gone and done the wrong voice there. No, I've done that wrong. I was meant to sound like a dying old man. Well, we know that you're not sick now. And I say, oh, yeah, I'll be right in. So I think my lucky stars texting has been invented. Not all the time. Actually, hate texting, to be honest. It does save you in some situations, but gee, it takes a lot of time. I mean, let's say that this podcast were to go on for another 30 minutes. I don't think it will because I'm sort of already clutching at straws as it is. But if I were to send this out in text form, you'd be scrolling down endless texts, hundreds and hundreds of messages. You just get sick of it, I suppose. Or you're pretty sick of this as well. At least this is better than reading my sort of humour in text because you can actually portray a lot of humour just through the tone and pitch of your voice. So actually looking at the screen now, I've got this little bar which says pitch. So if I'm running out of jokes, if I feel like I'm losing my audience, I'll just wave that a lot, and I'll start to go from a sort of chipmunk to a sort of Satan type figure. So if ever I'm sort of losing the humour, I've got that to
help me out a bit. Oh, look at that! There it goes. Yeah, see, you're cracking up.
How long's that been? 5 minutes. I've been sitting here for hours. How long does the episode have to be? Right, well, got another 20 minutes or so to carry. I've got a lot of material, so don't worry about it. You're in safe hands. I'm just trying to find what I wrote down to talk about. I didn't actually write anything between you and me, but my producer over there is looking at me, so I'm just pretending to read off some paper. It's actually just one of my cartoons. I've been drawing cartoons, so don't tell Grant that. Can you hear me, Grant? No, he can't hear me. But it is just a stream of consciousness type show. Working at a school, some of the Year 10 students at the moment are doing stream of consciousness, and some of their writing's quite good, and it sort of inspired me to get into this sort of thing. Of course, this is just off the cuff type material. I haven't prepared anything. I did prepare some muffins before the show. I was going to get my producer to bring them in when they're ready. Should be another 10 minutes. 10 minutes? Yeah, 10 minutes, he reckons. So that will probably be the highlight of the show, to be honest, when those muffins come in. Rest assured, though, that my material may be fairly weightless, but you wouldn't be listening to me if you wanted to hear the newest profound messages of the Dalai Lama, would you? If you want to listen to the Dalai Lama, Google him. Bang his name into Google. There's a lot of his material on there. It's great stuff, actually. He's a wise man. But, I don't see him doing a podcast from his bedroom. I haven't seen his bedroom, that's probably why. I mean, what would the Dalai Lama's bedroom look like? Would he have all those motivational posters up on his wall? The ones with the cute kittens saying, come on, get out of bed? Probably not. He doesn't need them. It's all up in his head, locked away. I need them. Not so much because of motivational issues, but because of back pain. I physically can't get out of bed sometimes. I just lie there stiff like a nail until it's bedtime. Just write that day off. Ring in sick. Yeah, hi, can't come in, got back pain. Oh, fuck, I'm a man of many ailments. My producer over there's looking at me for saying the F word. It's a podcast. Yeah, but I'm not going to get kicked off here. I own this airspace. And I thought you couldn't hear me anyway. Alright, I would say it. Fine. How long till the muffins? 7 minutes till the muffins. So that's 7 minutes of good material, rest assured. As I was saying, man of many ailments, if I were to list them for you: dry skin, hay fever, chronic stomach pain, back pain. But you can't let things like that get you down. I can't let back pain get me down, because what doesn't kill me only gives me severe long-term health detriments. My brother said that once. 2 brothers. You probably know them more than you know me. They do stuff with their lives. So they're improving society through music, through science. If anything, I am being a tediance towards society, I guess. Constantly posting things that don't need to be said, whether it be through status updates or columns or the likes of this podcast. I somehow get the feeling that if I put myself out, my personality out into the cyber world, I'm doing something with my life. Actually, I'm not. It's probably not helpful for anyone. In fact, if you have downloaded this, check you don't have a virus, because I used some dodgy software to create this. So if you've got some nasty pop-ups, it could actually be the podcast. So I apologise in advance for that. Well, not in advance, it's too late now. So once again, just being a general tediance to society. Just looking back at my 2 brothers, I got Thomas Oliver, who is a brilliant musician from the Thomas Oliver Band. You probably know him. He's quite well known around New Zealand, starting to get a name made for themselves overseas as well, which is just fantastic. My older brother Daniel has just come out of a 9-year stint at university, studying mechanical engineering. He's now a doctor. So we often have this kind of joke that these 2 boys have, my 2 brothers have these 2 amazing talents, and of course I've got nothing. They joke about it. I don't. To be honest, it's sad. I have some skills, just not to that sort of epic proportions as my older brothers. I make a good muffin, which you'll find out about that soon. Just from when you listen to me eating the muffin, you'll think, shit, that guy makes a good muffin. I'm saying shit. I can shut up. I can say shit. You'll think that guy makes a good muffin. But yeah, not the kind of skills that my brothers possess. But swings and roundabouts. Maybe I'll have a kid that is the next Charles Darwin, and he could well be, because I am related, according to him. All come from monkeys, don't we? Or something like that. I believe he said that we evolved from apes. I beg to differ, slightly. I just don't like the term evolved. I think if I could take an antonym to that word, I don't know what you would say, devolved. We've taken a backward step from the apes in a way, haven't we? I mean, look at what we've become. Chimps in that. Look at them. They're swinging around in the trees, having a laugh, picking nits out of one another, eating bananas. They don't have any currency, economy. They don't have these sorts of great illnesses that sweep through mankind. They've got AIDS. That they do have. But still, they don't have poverty. We're the ones who are struggling. They don't have bank accounts which, lose all their money during a Great Recession. They did have bank accounts, but the branches that they used kept snapping. So, but you can see where I'm coming from, can't you? I mean, you look at the simple life that the apes have, and then you look at our life just convoluted with all sorts of nonsense, technology, stupid people doing podcasts that it's just filling up airspace. No. I'd take that last one back as a recommendation from the producer, because I am somewhat under his jurisdiction. It was his idea to get me on air in this fashion. I have grown up listening to podcasts. I wouldn't say grown up. It's sort of a development of the last 5 or so years. I've been listening to a lot of Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington, Steve Merchant, their podcasts. Started off free, and then they started charging for them. So I'd like to sort of go in their footsteps and hook you in with 3 podcasts, and then bam, sting you. Download $1, thanks. $1 for that one. So if I can get 10 downloads, then that's $10. Well, yeah, you don't get all of it. I mean, surely I get some of it, don't I? Producer's saying that's his money. Yeah, I'll give you 12.5%. We'll work something out. Go check the muffins. So this could be a money-making venture. I have had a few of them in the past. None of them hugely successful. My latest one, I was trying to think of a new and revolutionary way to make money. So I went out and got a job. It's not perfect. It's not the ideal situation. I do have to get up every day at 7:30 a.m. Come home at 6 p.m. But I've got money coming in. I think next year I'm going to take a tangent from the sort of workforce and maybe go back and look at studying again. Not so much for the sake of furthering my education, but to get that student loan coming in. Plenty of girls at university. So that could be my next field of interest, is university. I haven't been there since 2007, actually, when I studied at Massey University in design. That took me nowhere. But, maybe strike 2. Well, actually, in a way, it's strike 3. Strike 3 is going to be the lucky one, because I did go back and study after Massey. I went and studied at the radio school, as you can probably tell, just through my voice. And I've got my fucking phone on, don't I? How did that happen? You learn the skills of radio. I'll just read this text just one moment. That was from Matt. I should ask him if he's got any more code in. So I have done a bit of study and managed to rack up from that over a $20,000 student loan, which I'm now paying off weekly from my income. It's not a significant amount, but it is an amount being taken from me every week for something that I never really took full advantage of. So maybe if I go back, Victoria University, 2012, I'll really strive for excellence and really, try and get with a decent amount of girls to make that study time worth it. So 15 minutes in to the show now, if you can call it a show. I'm not sure that I've got much on offer to make it worthy of being labelled a show, but it's not a lecture, is it? And it's not educational enough to be a lecture. So I tell you what, call in and tell me what category you think I should put this podcast. And Grant's telling me I don't have a phone. Sometimes I get a bit confused and think I'm on radio and I'm on live. There's a lot of excitement when you're talking live. I often wonder how invigorating it must be for someone like Barack Obama to stand up there in front of the camera and talk to his nation, millions and millions of people, live. You can't make a mistake. All eyes watching. You can't fuck up. You couldn't say fuck up. Otherwise you'd get in trouble, wouldn't you? Imagine that. Headline, Barack Obama fucks up by saying fuck up. Be the end of his political career. Then again, political careers have endured worse than that, haven't they? Look at Bill Clinton. And, now we've got his wife running the show. So there are ways through, but, it'd be tough. That's why I always admired John Key for sticking to it, because he's clumsy, isn't he? He's a clumsy man, but he'll fall over in public, but he'll get back up. He'll fall over again, and he'll keep getting up as long as he keeps falling over. I once read this status on Facebook saying, fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. Doesn't make any sense. No sense whatsoever. I commented on it saying, this doesn't make any sense. One of them replied saying, yes it does, of course it does. It's inspirational. And I replied, if you fall over 7 times, how are you meant to get up 8 times? You can only get up 8 times if you've fallen down 8 times. But they didn't get it. But, the message is the same, isn't it? If you fall down, get up. Even if it's your 7th or 8th time. 9th, 10th, you're pushing it, maybe call it a day if you're getting into double digits. Speaking of calling it a day, we're nearing the end of the first podcast by Chris Drabble. Grant's just gone down to take the muffins from the kitchen. He's going to bring them up to the studio / my bedroom. He took them out of the oven a couple of minutes ago. It's a crucial step, letting your bacon cool down before you consume it. It actually firms it up a little bit, makes it that much more scrumptious. I can hear him coming up the steps now. Yep, no, bring them in. Cheers, mate. What's that? Well, they're all black on top. They're burnt. Grant, those are burnt muffins. I mean, I'll give you one simple task. Don't burn it. Don't tell me how to do my job. I'm doing my job. Look at me talking away. It's just a waste of ingredients. Think about how much flour's gone into that. And milk. Eggs. And the list goes on. No, it's a big stuff up that, Grant. You can't afford to be making silly mistakes like that in this industry. You've gone and burnt those muffins. They're not edible. So, I'm sorry about that. There goes the highlight of the show. It would have been a momentous experience, tucking into those muffins. Closing in on the 20-minute mark. Grant, you've gone and spoilt the finale, so any ideas how we're going to see this one out? No, got nothing? Right, you're on thin ice, mate. Thin ice. One final message for myself. Listen to my next one. It will be out next Monday. Chris Drabble's stream of Subconsciousness, I think I'll call it. Episode 2. It'll be a goodie. Well past the experimental stages of episode 1. Look out for it in all good music stores. In saying that, there's not actually any good music stores, so therefore I won't be putting it in music stores. It will just be on Facebook. Stay tuned.